You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
I'm Smiley the dog. I am a mutt. I'm Smiley the dog. I'm super smiley. I have a cat, too sweet, the travel kitty. I have a good girlfriend, Angel's really pretty. I have a pony and we share a big horse. We have a big yard. Yeah, we have to, of course. I have a pool. In the summer I stay cool. Do a fountain, live in the mountain, live high on the hog. Need to be a spokes dog. I'm Smiley the dog. I am a mutt. I'm Smiley the dog. I'm super smiley.
Woof and Super Smiles. Welcome to A Super Smiley Adventure on Pet Life Radio, the largest pet radio network in the world. I'm Megan Blake, the pet lifestyle coach, here with my possum sidekick, Super Smiley, the ambassador of kindness for the Animal Film Festival. As the pet lifestyle coach, I travel the country with Smiley, helping people adopt the right pet for their lifestyle and then help train them so they keep that pet forever. And here on A Super Smiley Adventure, we explore adventures where animals lead. They can be journeys of animal advocacy, for adventure and fun, and they almost always lead to paths of inner discovery and greater bonding with our pets. And that's why Smiley and I love our guest today. Kristy Swanson is one of the very talented stars of the upcoming Christmas film, A Belle for Christmas, which also stars a dog playing the title role of Belle. We've loved seeing Kristy on the TV series Psych. She's been on so many TV projects, including Law & Order, Criminal Intent, and CSI Miami, and she's known for way cool cult classic films like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and Dude, Where's My Car? Kristy Swanson, welcome to A Super Smiley Adventure.
Thank you very much, Megan. What a nice introduction. Thank you.
Well, you certainly deserve it. And we love all of those projects. And we, of course, want to talk about A Belle for Christmas and working with the dog who played Belle. But first, you have such a long line of not only wonderfully acclaimed credits, but also fun credits as an actor, from the TV series Psych to acclaimed dramas like Flowers in the Attic with Academy Award winner Louise Fletcher. And Kristy, I read that when you were a child, you asked your parents to move to LA so you could become an actress. How did you know that this was your destiny?
Well, I don't think I did at all. You know, my parents are, just simple folks, like they're school teachers, phys ed teachers from the Midwest and the East Coast, and they moved to California when they got married. And I think that they were just, with my brother and I, if we showed an interest in something, whether it was a sport or anything at all, acting being mine, they just would do everything that they could to make that opportunity happen for us.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Well, that was the right decision. We have loved all of your projects. And pretty quickly when you moved here, you won roles in 2 John Hughes films, which were sort of classics in themselves. Tell us about those.
Yeah, I was 15 years old when I went in and I read for John Hughes for this movie called Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And I didn't really know a whole lot about it. I never read the script or anything, but he hired me to play the part. And as it turned out, when they were filming in Chicago, he had to, because of location reasons, he had to shoot my role while he was in Chicago, and he shot it with another actress. But to make up for that, he wrote me another role that they would shoot here in Los Angeles. And so that's the role I ended up playing in Ferris Bueller. It was like a special edition role that he wrote, which actually turned out to be better. And while we were shooting that, the end of Ferris Bueller, they were reshooting the end of Pretty in Pink. And so he asked me if I would come play a part on that. So it was kind of like, it all sort of fell into my lap in a way.
Yeah, and my beginning question, I asked, did you know that this was your destiny? And a way your answer was that it absolutely was your destiny. I love that. That was just the coolest story. And I also mentioned that as an actress, you move so easily between these genres. I have to ask, what was it like working on Flowers in the Attic with Academy Award winner Louise Fletcher, who is known for that iconic performance in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
Well, it was an honor to work with Louise Fletcher. I mean, even at, I was 16 years old when I made that movie, and the movie Flowers in the Attic. And I mean, I even knew who she was, it's not like I didn't know. I knew the opportunity that I was having here to work with such a great lady. And not only was she a great actress, but she really, truly is a great lady. And I loved working with her. And even though we don't talk all the time or anything, I do run into her, and we're still very friendly. And she's truly amazing. I just love her.
Yes, yes. A big shout out to Louise Fletcher. We all love and respect her work as well. And before we get to Belle, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That must have been so much fun to play a fantasy character, but as though it's all just deadly serious. What was your favorite part about Buffy?
Oh, gosh. My favorite part about playing Buffy, I don't really have a favorite part, I really enjoyed the whole experience, To think of a funny anecdote that happened on the set almost 25 years ago is hard for me to do right now. But I will say that the entire experience was great. Like, our cast was awesome. And our crew was amazing, and we just had so much fun and a lot of laughter, and, it was just a really fun movie to make. I remember that as a very good experience in my lifetime.
Yeah, and it is a very, very fun film. And now, Kristy, you're in A Belle for Christmas. Tell us, who is Belle?
Well, A Belle for Christmas... A Belle for Christmas is a movie that I did. It's like a kid and family-friendly film. Belle is a little dog, a white shepherd that is in the movie, and we worked with a couple of them, because we have to, when you're making movies, you have to have a couple of dogs in order to make it work, because they can only work a certain amount of time just to protect them. So I played the villain in that movie, so I'm actually trying to get rid of Belle in the film. Story.
You know what, Kristy, this is a good cliffhanger. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more Kristy Swanson and A Belle for Christmas. Smiley, can you wait? Good boy.
Sit, stay. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
I'm Smiley the dog. I'm Super Smiley. Must walk.
Pet Life Radio, the #1 pet radio network on the planet, joins forces with iHeartRadio to put the power of your pets in your pocket. Awesome. Download the iHeartRadio app and rock Pet Life Radio on your phone, on your tablet, on your Xbox, in your car. Pet talk, pet tunes, and fun pet times. Pet Life Radio and iHeartRadio. Positively Possum.
Let's talk pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
And we're back on A Super Smiley Adventure with Kristy Swanson, star of the upcoming film A Belle for Christmas. And Kristy, there are so many wonderful Christmas films now. And of course, I love any movie with a dog. They just get right to the heart of the emotion. So tell us more about the film, A Belle for Christmas. You mentioned a little bit about the dogs. Tell us more about working on the actual film.
Well, the film was really a lot of fun. There's a lot of really wonderful kids in the movie that do a great job. They're all really good actors, and they're very funny. Dean Cain is the lead in the film, and he is the dad. He's got a couple of children. He's a widower, and he having, the holidays with his kids, and his kids see this dog that they want to adopt. They really want this, this white German shepherd, and he's saying no, of course, and no. And then he's a catch, basically. And so my character is a single woman who's not very loving of children or animals, but really wants to date him. And so I'm trying to get into his life a little bit, but in the process, the kids don't like me. They pick up on something about me that's bad, and I end up stealing their dog. And and so the whole thing turns into this race on, how to get revenge and how to get back at me and how to get the dog back and save the dog.
And save the dog.
It's a very cute story.
And probably save Christmas. I don't know. I'm just guessing about that one.
Yes, and save Christmas all at the same time. You're right.
I love that. You sound a little bit like Cruella Deville being the villainess. Is that what a fun role. Do you like playing, I know they both are probably very, very fun, but do you prefer playing the villainess or the heroine? Which is more fun for you?
I like both. I think it's fun. Yeah, I don't care either way.
That's fun. Absolutely. Absolutely. And another acting question. I love working with animals on set, but I know W.C. Fields, one of our iconic American actors, said he would never work with animals or children. But for me, they add spontaneity and life. What was it like working with Belle and with all the kids on the set? Do you like working with animals?
Wait a second. W.C. Fields said he'd never work with children or animals?
He said he didn't want to share the stage. He didn't want to share the stage with them because the thing is, in his thinking, they steal the spotlight. You can't concentrate. You can't do it the way you plan to do it. And of course you can't because they're running around, being spontaneous. So, but I'm like the exact opposite. It sounds like you are too. How do you feel
Well, I mean, I've been doing this since I was 9 years old. So
there you go.
I was a child actor. So I'm actually quite sensitive and quite supportive of child actors.
Yes.
So I'm always there to protect them and make sure they're okay. And I just have a ball. Now that I'm a mom and I get to work with kids, it's just a joy to me. There's no question that working with animals, no matter what the animal is, whether it's a dog or a cat or a lion or an elephant in film, because I've worked with a lot of exotic animals too, there's a great amount of patience that you have to have. And you have to, as an actor working with them, you have to be ready on your toes, ready on the ball, because when that animal's ready, you got to be ready. It's not about you, it's about them. So you do have to have an incredible amount of patience. But then there's other animals that come to it honestly, and they can do it really quick, but some of them struggle. So you just have to have patience. That's all.
Yes. Oh, I love that. I love that word, patience. And that's a good word just for working with our own animals at home, too. You know, we have to listen to them, see what their needs are, see what they're ready to do at that moment, or they may not be ready to do what we feel like doing, right?
Absolutely. You know, I mean, children and animals, you just got to have patience.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And in the film, I read that Belle's character, the dog's character in the film, is a rescue. And I love that because now it seems like in film and television, in the media, that animals are just naturally being portrayed instead of as being bought from a store, that they're being rescued, which I love that because all my animals are rescued. And we always promote that theme here on A Super Smiley Adventure. Smiley was abandoned 2 times, and his girlfriend Angel here, she was abandoned 4 times. Even my horses are rescues. So we always love supporting that. Yeah, so we want everybody to go see a Belle for Christmas, yay, because it also supports dog rescue. And then just with the theme in it. And then also you mentioned Dean Cain. Dean, I've seen Dean in the veterinarian's office here many times with his beautiful dogs here in Malibu. So I know that he is an animal lover, and he seems like such a nice guy. What was Dean like to work with? We love him here.
Yes, Dean is fabulous. He's one of my go-tos. He's one of my favorites. We're really good friends, and we've shot a lot of movies together, and we get along great. I just love him. He's a good person, and he's a great dad with his son, and I've met his dogs too, because we were filming over at his house one day, and I met his Labrador. So yeah, very cute.
Yeah. And it's fun also when you do get to work with the same actor in more than one project, right? Even though if you're playing really different characters though from project to project, tell our listeners what's that like? Because you know the person, you trust them, you've got good chemistry, but what's it like when you switch up roles with someone that you know?
I don't know. I think I'm pretty good at like wearing hats, and I don't let whatever role I'm playing. Like if I'm playing the villain, then I'm not a villain. If I'm playing the villain to Dean and the kids, I'm not a villain to them. Do you know? Like I'm not a method actor.
Right, right. Well, I'm sure that makes everybody a lot more fun on the set when you just love each other. You know, like cut, and then everybody loves each other. So that sounds like a lot of fun. You're always talking about your sets that you've worked on, how much fun you had, and how wonderful it is. And we are going to hear more about Kristy Swanson and A Belle for Christmas right after this break. Super Smiley, can you wait? Good boy.
Sit. Stay. We'll be right back, right after we kibble a little with our sponsors.
I love animals. If you ask the question, what do I want? What do I need? I'll take affection. I really should mention I need time. I need love. I crave attention. This is the waiting by the door. With shaking tails and happy hearts. And running circles round the floor. That's always when the party starts. For me, they are my friends. They are my children. They are the furry brothers and kids. They are my family. They understand me. That's how I love my pets.
I Love My Pets, the new single by Mark Winter, available in iTunes. Hi, this is Teody Anderson, and I'm the host of Get Positive Results on Pet Life Radio. We're going to talk about a variety of topics on canine behavior and training, all based on modern methods that are fun for you and your dog. We might be talking about other critters too, so join us on Get Positive Results. We'll talk about common issues between you and your dog, answer your questions, discuss different activities you can do with your dog, and keep you posted on current canine news and products. All this on Get Positive Results on Pet Life Radio.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
This is AJ Cook, and we're on a super smiley adventure.
And we're back on a super smiley adventure with Kristy Swanson, and we're talking about the Christmas film for this season, A Belle for Christmas. And Haley Duff from the film Napoleon Dynamite, she does a wonderful job playing the rescue worker in A Belle for Christmas. And again, I want to mention that Belle is a rescue dog in the film. And Kristy, I know we already talked about this, but in general, haven't you noticed that like in movies and television shows that the dogs and cats, they're often rescues or people are going to shelter in the actual projects? Isn't that cool that the media is kind of picking up on that now?
Absolutely. I think that that's fabulous. Absolutely.
Yeah, and one of the reviews of the film says it's about a family in need of the joy that only a puppy can provide. And then in the artwork for the film, it says that this Christmas, it's all about the puppy love. I totally understand this. I just feel that animals just open us up to a whole new world of emotion. Would you agree with that, just in life, that animals open us up?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a big animal lover. I love all kinds of animals. So I agree with that 100%.
Kristy, how have animals influenced you in your real life? Have you had pets or, how have you interacted with animals? How have they affected your life?
Yeah, growing up as a child, dogs and cats that we had, and I even had a horse when I was a young girl. And
yeah?
Yeah, and then working in film all these years, I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of really cool, great animals and exotic animals. The dangerous ones, like a lion. Sitting next to a lion is not easy to do. And you learn a certain amount of respect for that animal.
Right.
And it's really, I think animals are just, I don't know how to explain it. Every time I look into an animal's eyes, I just feel something,
Yeah.
They make me happy. They make me feel good. And I have a really hard, you hear about animal abuse or abandonment and stuff like that. And that's something that just because I'm a mom and I don't know, it's just something that it makes my stomach turn. And I just don't know, how someone could abuse an animal or abandon an animal. I just can't wrap my head around it. And it makes me so sad. It makes me very, very sad. But I'm glad that people are out there bringing awareness about it and trying to do something about it. That absolutely has to be done. But it sure is hard to hear about it,
Yeah, exactly. Yes, Smiley and I were very aware, anybody in the animal advocacy world, like you said, very, very aware of a lot of the cruelty, but we try to focus on definitely on this show anyway, on the positive, or if we do come across something negative, we try to give people a positive outlet, a positive way to move through it. For example, one of our really good dog friends, Susie, she just did a theatrical film called Susie's Hope. It's about her life, and she was actually set on fire, but she recovered, and now she's a dog, and she has a movie out called Susie's Hope, which is very, very inspiring. So was a horrible tragedy, which of course was just beyond words. But now it's turned into a positive thing, and I think that's what you're saying, Kristy. Just move forward. And Kristy, you also mentioned something beautiful. I loved what you said. You said that when you look into an animal's eyes, you see something. And I believe the way I put that, for me anyway, is when you look in their eyes, they remind you to connect on a deep level. And for me, it reminds me to reconnect with myself. They're very, very grounding. And I see animals as healers and teachers. Can you say that? I mean, have you learned anything? If you haven't, it's okay. But have you learned anything from working with animals or from your horse as a child? Did your horse teach you anything as a child?
I mean, you definitely, when you're working with a big animal like that, a horse, there's definitely, trust, and that's a huge factor.
Well, that trust is huge, what you just said, trust, because I take the trust even a little bit further, it's communication, because once you trust something like a large horse, like a large animal, there has to be a give and take communication, especially with a horse, which is a flight animal, and you're on top of them riding them. So, my gosh, that's pretty much one of the ultimate things of communication is being on top of a flight animal and riding it with trust, right?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Big time trust. You have to be in tune with each other.
I love that. And sync with each other.
Mhm.
Perfect. Kristy, I
Thank
love
you.
the way you look at animals. I love your phrasing. And back to the film, A Belle for Christmas. How can we see it or purchase it? When does this come out? How can we get a hold of it?
Well, from what I've heard, I have yet to see it. I have not seen the film yet, and I can't wait. I heard maybe tomorrow I'll get to see it. It comes out tomorrow on DVD, and on the internet you can get it as a stocking stuffer for your kids, or you can, I think, like all of those stores, like the Walmarts and the Targets and all those stores that sell DVDs, maybe Best Buy. I don't really know. I'm not on that side of the business, but it's for sale now. So
okay,
starting
very
tomorrow,
cool.
you can buy
Yes,
the movie. Yeah.
yes, and that'll be November 4th. So in case somebody hears this, a little bit later, we want everybody to share our radio show and play it for everybody, so they don't wait till the next day. So it's coming out November 4th. So that's really exciting. A Belle for Christmas. And looking at that end of the business, as you just said, Kristy, it's being distributed by Anchor Bay. And I just want everyone to know that one of my films that I acted in is called The Dog Days of Summer, and it's also distributed by Anchor Bay. And here's some fun facts about this. Yeah, cool. And here's some really fun facts. Director Mark Freiberger, he loves dogs, and he's a very good friend of Super Smiley's here, my co-host here. And everybody might remember Mark also because his commercial won the Super Bowl commercial challenge. I think it was like 2 years ago, that really funny Dorito commercial. That was Mark Freiberger's commercial. And so we're giving a big shout out to Mark, and also to The Dog Days of Summer, his film that I was in. And his film also stars Colin Ford, who is now in Under the Dome and was in CSI Miami, which, Kristy, you were in CSI Miami. So it's amazing how the animal world, isn't that fun? It's so cool.
It's great. It's like 6 degrees of animals.
6 degrees of animal separation. I love that. Yeah. I love that. So we want everybody to go out and get A Belle for Christmas at all these outlets on the internet or Walmart or wherever. Look for those. And I agree, make beautiful, beautiful stocking stuffers. Or it'd be fun maybe after Thanksgiving, after you have your big Thanksgiving dinner, everybody sit around on the sofa and watch A Belle for Christmas. How about that?
That's fantastic.
I love that.
In my family, I have a 7.5-year-old, and we love to just snuggle up on the couch or wherever in the house and watch a movie, and especially during the holidays. I mean, those are special times, and those family films just make you really come together. So I love those times. They
do. And the thing I love about the Christmas family films, too, is that the themes are so beautiful that you literally can watch them over and over and over and over, and they still give you that feel-good feeling. And that's what it's about, is just creating that feel-good feeling. And Kristy, is there a Facebook or a way we can keep up with you, a Twitter? How do we keep up with all of your projects? How do we follow you?
Well, I am on Twitter, and my actual Twitter handle is Kristy Swanson XO. So you can go at Kristy Swanson XO, and I have a Facebook page as well. I don't know what the handle is for it. I think it's just Kristy Swanson.
Okay.
And I have a website as well, and I'm working on getting hip. I need to get an Instagram, I've been told, so.
I know, there's so much. It's crazy. It's so hard to keep up with everything. But, Kristy, what's your web page in case people want to check that out, too?
My webpage is KristySwansonOnline.com.
Good. Very good. Very cool. And I want to remind everyone also that Smiley and I are on Facebook. Smiley's on there at Super Smiley, and I'm on Facebook with the URL facebook.com/Megan Blake, because there are several Megan Blake. So go to that URL. Okay. And you can also see Smiley's award-winning documentaries, his Super Smiley Kindness campaign, teaching kids kindness through pets, at youtube.com/Megan Blake. That's our YouTube. And Kristy, your kids would probably love this, because Smiley has something called the Super Smiley Flash Mob for pet adoption and the Super Smiley Flash Mob for kindness. And his kindness documentary, we work with inner city kids. They're like 7 years old, and they learn kindness from Smiley, and they do the Super Smiley Flash Mob, and it's the cutest flash mob in the whole universe, because it's little 7-year-old kids doing it out in the park in downtown LA. So I hope your little children go and watch it, because I know they would just love it.
Absolutely.
And again, Kristy Swanson, we want to congratulate you on A Belle for Christmas, on all of your projects. And again, we invite everyone to go get it. Everybody go out and get a Belle for Christmas and Super Smiley. And I thank you so much.
I'm gonna go
get it.
I'm going to go get it. I'm going to go get it November 4th.
November 4th, yes. And we'll all be in our own houses on Thanksgiving, eating our wonderful Thanksgiving, and then sitting on the sofa afterwards watching a Belle for Christmas.
Yes.
I love that. And Kristy, thank you so much for joining us on A Super Smiley Adventure on Pet Life Radio. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
And from all of us here at Pet Life Radio on A Super Smiley Adventure, we hope you love all your adventures with your pets. And until next time, woof and super smiles.
Let's Talk Pets every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.